Welcome to the Get Smart with Money podcast. I'm your host, Dana Hernandez, financial planner and author of Get Smart with Money, Break Free from the Struggle, Build Wealth on Your Terms, and Rewrite Your Money Story. Here we talk about money, entrepreneurship, growth, and resilience, because financial freedom is about more than just numbers. Each week, you'll get practical strategies, inspiring stories, and the motivation you need to stress less about money and create more freedom in your life. Let's get smart with money together. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Get Smart with Money podcast. Today I have a very special guest. His name is Chris Duncan, and he has been changing the world using Superconscious Recode since 2019. He's helping people turn their dreams into reality. He has built multiple 8-figure companies, is a New York Times bestselling author of the book You're Not Broken. Chris was also featured in the movie We Rise Up alongside Tony Robbins, the 14th Dalai Lama, and Richard Branson. And in that same year, he became a part of the 2 Comma Club, and since then, he's now earned the 3 Comma Club Award and the X Award. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here, Chris. It is an honor for you to be on my show.
Oh, thanks, Dan. I appreciate you. I love what you're doing, and I think more people like you getting out and changing the world to get money education is a really good thing. So thanks. Hey.
Yeah, definitely. They don't teach enough of money education in school, so I'm kind of here to pick up that slack.
Yeah, good for you. Well done. It's really awesome. Yeah, you're right. They don't. We don't get enough or any education around money. I grew up in New Zealand, and we have a much more socialist focus on the world than anything else. And so understanding money, or people that have money, well, I guess people who have money are seen as bad, or they did something evil, or they were, the others. So yeah, I get it. So anyway, thanks for what you're doing, and thanks. It's great to be here.
Great. Yeah, definitely. It's a pleasure to meet you. And so I was going to ask you about your social media. I was looking at all your socials and your YouTube. Do you handle that stuff yourself, or do you have a team that does all that?
A team, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking about hiring somebody probably towards the end of this year, because managing this podcast and all my socials is a lot of work. Plus, I'm going to have a coaching business come out very soon here too. So it's just a lot to handle.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I've had logins to any of my social media for about 6 years. So
Wow.
I have no idea what happens over there. I film it, but other than that, well, I do have an idea, but yeah, we have a great team, amazing team.
That's great. Yeah, I can't wait to hire some people. It's going to take
Nice.
some load off of me, but it's fun. Marketing it's fun, but it is a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
And it's expensive sometimes.
Well, I guess it is if you're not getting a return, but if your numbers are working out, then it all comes back. I mean, we spend about $400,000 a month on advertising, and when people go, how are you spending $500,000 a month? It's like, well, I'm not really spending it. That's what says on my credit card statement, but that 400,000 turns into revenue, so it has to come back. So I think the main thing is ensuring that money comes back.
Right, definitely. So you're in the ClickFunnels Awards, or you have those awards, however you say that.
They're sitting in the other room. Yeah. It's a pretty amazing thing that Russell's created, isn't it? With his movement with ClickFunnels. So I think we've won 4 of the $1 million funnels, right? And then we've got 1 of the $10 million funnels, which was a big achievement. Pretty happy to.
Damn. Yeah. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, I was looking at ClickFunnels because I finally was like, well, what's ClickFunnels like award? Like, what's the 2 comma? I was like, oh, the zeros. So I was like, okay, ClickFunnels. And I finally went on their website and I was like, oh, okay, like that makes a lot more sense. And I've been using GoDaddy for my website, but I think I might take a look at ClickFunnels because I found that that was really interesting how they're like giving those awards out for if you're really successful on their platform. So,
Well, I think the key is that you have to put the money through. Like you have to have done $10 million through a funnel to get that award.
mhm.
And that gives a really good focus. You know, it's like, okay, cool. I want to win that award. You know, it's nearly better to win the award than to make the money. But, you know, yeah, it doesn't matter what system you use. It was fun to win those awards and to go do it, but it doesn't actually matter what you do. What matters more is what you do to make yourself make those systems work. But yeah, I think that they've had they have 130,000 active users, and I think there's 1,000 people that have won one of the $1 million ones. We've got 3 of them, and then I think we're one of 50 that have got the $10 million one. But I could be completely wrong, but I think that's their numbers. So it's yeah, it's pretty
That's
good.
really cool.
Mm.
And I was kind of skimming through your book. So your book's called You're Not Broken, which I love the title of that because
Yeah, thanks.
people go around every day thinking, oh my God, like I'm so broken. I don't know what to do. Like life is happening to me, you know? So the fact that it was called You're Not Broken is just, I feel like it's a very attractive title to a lot of people. So I
Mm.
started skimming your book a bit. And being a New York Times bestseller is always an impressive thing, definitely. And it's your own publishing company?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I
Yeah.
wanted to have all the rights to it myself, you know. So the book's it's a really good book, you know, 5 steps to activate your superconscious. And it really follows the story of what I was taught in 2016. I got some amazing training from a self-made billionaire, and he explained to me, you know, the way you focus your consciousness creates reality. And if you're focused on trying to fix yourself, improve yourself, heal yourself, therapy yourself, you know, your consciousness is learning that you must fix yourself. And so all it does is finds more problems to fix. And he said to me, what you must do is you must be it to see it. You cannot plant seeds of scarcity and grow an abundance forest. You must be it. And to be it, you must rise above common consciousness and be it. And so, look, I put everything that I learned from him and applied it to my digital marketing school. And we created that into a $10 million a year business. And then in 2019, I decided to start teaching the conscious education to others and, you know, applied the exact same knowledge, Dana, and turned that one into a multi $10 million a year business, the exact same system, exact same knowledge. And so when it came to putting it into a book, I didn't want or didn't need to have someone give me a couple $100,000, you know, to publish and to do it. And the benefit of self-publishing means I can sell that book for whatever I want. You know, I can give you a copy and it costs me whatever the paper is, cost me $5 for the paper. Whereas, you know, Simon and Schuster or, you know, Hay House or Random House, Penguin, you know, that they're going to want their, you know, piece every time, you know, you buy a book. So that's why we did it. And then obviously you can turn it into an audio book and we've got all the rights, turn it into online programs, everything else. So yeah, it penciled out to be a much better decision. So I would recommend anyone, if you can afford it, to self-publish. And then, yeah, I've got a publishing company now as well. So we're actually helping other authors get their message out to the world, which is fun.
That's great. I love that.
Mm.
That's so huge.
Yeah.
Because I know it's hard to get into publishing companies like Penguin and Wiley and like all kinds of those types of publishing companies. So,
Yeah.
is there like a certain theme of books that you choose or like
Yeah.
self-development type?
Transformation. Yeah.
Okay.
Transformational books, you know. We want to help people write books that create a lasting impact on other people. You know, we want to help them create highly profitable books that make money
Yeah.
and build their business. And we also want books that, you know, need to be written because there's a lot out there that need to be written. And the thing is you can have the same content in 20 different books, but if each author has a different story and a unique way of explaining it, one of them might be the way the person needs to hear it. Because it seems to me that one of the things that we're here to do is upgrade consciousness. You know, I don't know what you feel or your listeners feel, but I feel like I'm more evolved than my grandparents. You know, I feel like I'm more involved than a Neanderthal. Like I feel like the kids coming through are more evolved than us. And it seems on some level we're working together like a colony of ants to upgrade this consciousness and create whatever, you know, whatever we're supposed to be. You know, it seems that we're shedding layers, updating, learning new ways of being, and at some point there is a, you know, there is an end to it. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. That's the kind of books we're interested in. You know, we want to change the world. And we, you know, I like making money too.
Yeah, of course. But serving other people is like the best and most fulfilling reward at the end of the day, for sure. I love the feeling of that. So, and I was checking out your YouTube. So I saw, I guess it was your first time doing the Superconscious Recode on those two women.
Ah, you saw that, did you? Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was very interesting. I watched the entire thing.
You're right.
I even like sat there with my eyes shut trying to get it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you said something about like going back to your inner child, that one part, I was just like tears.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was that was 2019, beginning of 2019 that was filmed. And I was only doing the recode on myself and my team at that point. So the 5 steps for the listeners is step 1, choose what you want. Step 2, emotionally engage. And step 3, notice where you are now. Step 4, connect to your higher self and let go of what's stopping you. 5, take action. And I was using this for myself to build the companies and to do what I'm doing. And, you know, I got married, love my life, you know, reconditioned my body. I'm now, you know, competing as an athlete again, like just everything changed, you know, following these steps. But I'd never taught it publicly. And I just got this intuitive hit that I should do a seminar, you know, like a workshop seminar thing. And
Mhm.
so Joe Dispenza had been into Australia like a month or 2 months before that, and he was at that place. So I just picked that place, the Sunshine Coast. It's like on the east coast of Australia. It's above. It's yeah, really nice place. And you know, like 50 odd people turned up, and I was like, right, here we go. I'm gonna do this weird thing. And it's funny because prior to doing the superconscious work, I had done things that were very logical, right? Like I had a solar company, I had a water filter company, I had, you know, a digital marketing agency, I had a sales agency, I had very logical businesses, like they make
Mhm.
sense. And I didn't have to be that creative. It was just like, okay, they're selling those solar panels at that much. We'll sell these solar panels at this much. Then we'll just, you know, we'll just compete, you know, very masculine, very linear thinking, very much, you know, the way it is. And and then when I went to do super conscious work, I had to risk it all. You know, it was so outside of anything I'd ever done. And it was so scary to think, you know, I'm going to do this in front of other people. But
Yeah.
I think that, and then I recorded it as well, which was a good idea.
Yes, it was.
And I think that in my uh, in the essence of me being so terrified doing it, I think people connect with me and the two women because I think it's like it was such a moment, you know, like I was like, I had no, the funny story, the reason why I bring two women up, because I said to myself, well, if it doesn't work for one of them, I've hedged my bets. I'm like, I've hedged my bets. But now, you know, I've done the recode on over 10 million people, you know, like blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I certify people on how to do the process and everything else. So, you know, now it's completed. But in that very first one, I was thinking, holy crap, I could just have a room of people staring back at me going, you are the weirdest person, you know, like, and I want my money back. But, you know, I think because I was willing to risk it, you know, I got to put my name kind of on the map, I guess, as being the super conscious guy. Because before I did it, that word wasn't out there. You search super conscious, my name's attached to that, you know, for eternity. So that was nice
Yeah.
that I kind of got to carve out, you know, a little corner in the world, you know.
Yeah. I thought it was very unique. And I think that it kind of helped me a little bit sitting there listening to it because I don't really like being on film too much. and I've made like 3 reels and like little stories on Facebook. I'm like, did it work a little bit?
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. You're just starting. Wait till you really give it a crack. It's phenomenal. See the how the recode works is it teaches your brain to recode, reconnect, which is based on the name is based on the reconsolidation moment discovered in 2001. They won the Nobel Prize to understand how brain neurons reconsolidate. And what it does is it teaches your brain through a process how to use the letting go or forgetting system that we all have in a functional way. So we all have a way to forget someone's name, what we had for breakfast last week, or, whatever. We forget things all the time. So we have this ability to reconsolidate, consolidate memories, memory structures. And so it just teaches the brain how to use that and how to understand the difference between what it should remember and what's to forget. And so I tell a lot of people, basically, we're forgetting trauma, forgetting pain, forgetting fears, forgetting memories. We're just forgetting it. That's what we're doing. And so it's very
That's
fun, super
that's
fun.
crazy. So is there something that you, because I noticed you were like talking directly to their subconscious or super conscious? Are they 2 different things?
So we're trying to define the undefinable. And so many people use different words. And so I define subconscious or unconscious as the domain of the feelings in the body, running the body. Superconscious is your higher mind, your genius, your source code. And then self-conscious is your ego, thinking mind, rational mind. And so those listeners who might be familiar with Carl Jung, what he calls the collective unconscious is more like what I call superconscious. What he calls the id is what I more call self-conscious. And so I don't use the word subconscious because when I was designing what I would call everything, which obviously, as we know, we're trying to explain an unexplainable phenomena called consciousness. So none of us really know, but we try and divide it and put words to it. Is that I felt if I used sub and super, it would feel like one was less than the other. And so I decided to use super and unconscious as the 2 distinctions because I didn't want there to be a hierarchy of what's better or worse. Yet in hindsight, it didn't really work. Everyone still thinks the superconscious is more important than the unconscious. So I could have called it bananas for all that it really mattered. But that was the thinking at the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's seems pretty smart. Definitely. It's a very interesting process. And how do I get more of that? And how does the audience go get more? Because I can direct people to that one video that I watched, but you have
Well,
more
the
of
video
those,
is
right?
the first thing to watch. That gives you you either know if you want to give it a go or not by watching that video. And then you can go sign up for a free session on my website. And it's a full
Okay.
session. And so go to christophermduncan.com or consciouseducationcompany.com or just search my name and type recode and you'll get given a free one. So we give everybody a free first one. We say, okay, come try it for free. You have to go through about a 30-minute education process which is what you didn't get. So even though you got some changes, the changes are much, much, much more profound when you have the full education because I cut it down. So it takes about half an hour and then you'll be able to experience what the 2 women experienced as well.
Okay. Is that kind of like a general one that you
So
have for free?
the way that it works is we can work with anyone because we have everyone decide on their end results. Now you can choose. We don't do free one-on-one. We do a free group. I think we do a discounted for things like $100 if you want a personal one-on-one with one of my certified coaches. But it's group, yeah.
Okay. That's not bad. That's really cool.
Yeah, well, we want everyone it's such a weird thing. It's like so hard to explain. It's like, hey, just come try it. Like, watch the video, come try it. And if it's for you, that's great. If it's not, it's not. That's fine. We don't
Yeah.
mind. But come try it. Bring us your biggest, baddest fear or block or phobia. And, we'll shift it in a session. And then after that, if you want more, it's like $50 a week to get sessions. So that's great.
Wow.
Mm.
That's very affordable. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. We have like 3,000 people that are in the programs that are paying $50 a week. So it works out.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Um, and where can people find you? You just said your websites for that, but you're on social media. So what is your Instagram handle and Facebook?
I think it's Chris M. Duncan, I think, but just people can just Google me.
Yeah, we'll just
I
Google
think
you
it's
for
Chris.
sure.
I think I had to use my middle name, which is Michael. So I have to use M everywhere because there's some like baseball player or something like that that is named Chris Duncan who kind of like, I don't know, was good.
Well, that was a very nice chat. Thank you so much for being here, Chris.
You're welcome. I
I
loved
really
it. And
like
thanks for
that.
everything. Yeah, thanks for everything that you're doing out there. I hope everyone subscribes to your channel. It's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Please like, review, share, and subscribe to this podcast, and follow us on Instagram at GetSmartWMoney Podcast, as well as checking out our website at GetSmartWithMoneyPodcast.com.